Hey guys, let's talk about routines. I know having a routine messed up can be one of the worst issues for an autistic person. But how to overcome it? Let's think about that. What is your routine being ruined due to your brain? It's again a dopamine reaction and it's an anxiety reaction. So you have a plan set up and something messes it up, and then you have to think it over, and panic just sets in. That's actually the symptom of having a routine messed up. And when you think about it, it's kind of impossible to control everything. And think about something else. What about people back in the days who are autistic but who are not diagnosed? I mean, there wasn't any autism diagnosis. So let's say Mozart, for example. So what did he do if he had his routine messed up? He probably had a fuss, he acted out, he had a meltdown every once in a while, and then he got over it and did something else. That's most probably what he did and what other autistic people did in the past. So nowadays, uh, the autistic community to some extent gets excuses for being unable to react if their routine gets messed up. Consider me, I get a lot of meltdowns if my routine gets messed up, but that doesn't mean I didn't find a way to overcome it. And the way to overcome it is not what I thought first. Like a couple of weeks ago, I thought about making this video, and like I had this idea for months before that maybe you should have backup plans and a backup of the backup plan. And to be honest, I actually read that somewhere and thought about it. And I tried it out, and you know what? It didn't work. It just doesn't work. You have to surrender control. This is ridiculous point of view that you have to have control over your reactions and you have to have a plan for the day. But don't get me wrong, you can have a plan for the day, but don't try to stick to it 100% because you're gonna be disappointed most of the freaking times. Most of the times. Seriously. So, what do you do when your routine gets messed up? The anxiety starts setting in. It starts thinking scenarios, what I'm gonna do now. What is the plan B, plan C option? Am I gonna get into a meltdown? Am I getting into a meltdown right now? And what can you do? You can just surrender. You can just let go and think about it in a spiritual way. What does it mean to have control? I mean, you can't have control over your life, over your destiny. Like, I don't know, I am gonna talk later in later videos about karma and the path and dharma. But get this, so if you have something karmic that's gonna come to you, you're not gonna avoid it by making plans, you know? So don't try to make them rigid. Just try to make a plan, and if it doesn't work, just stop. Just stop and think about it. Don't get into a meltdown, at least try to, because getting into a meltdown is gonna be worse for you. You're gonna waste so much energy, you're gonna need to recover, and your plan is gonna be ruined at the same time. So you're not doing anything positive at all. So the proper way, I would say, to try to react, to start reacting from now on to your routines getting messed up, is just take a breath, think about what just happened, think if it's the end of the world, and what does that plan mean to you? Why does it make you feel so anxious? And when you think about for a minute, I think you're gonna get more relaxed and you're gonna think of other plausible scenarios to go forward, and you're gonna avoid a certain meltdown. So yeah, similar to social anxiety, having a routine messed up is an anxiety reaction. And as such, it wastes a lot of dopamine. But if you stop on time and if you manage to handle a situation and do something else instead and realize that your plan or the way you saw things going isn't necessarily gonna go the way you want all the time, actually most of the time. So just let go, surrender, and do whatever comes to mind next. And this is gonna flood your brain with dopamine, it's gonna make you feel positive, you're gonna avoid the meltdown, and you're gonna feel relaxed and braver for the next time around. And eventually, over time, you're gonna get used to not making so many plans, and you're going to again prefer to have routines. I prefer to have routines as well, routines for when to have a breakfast, what exactly to eat, etc., etc. But yeah, you go to the shop, that thing isn't there, so you have to think of something else instead of melting down. So you're just gonna figure out more and more ways to deal with this situation. So you're gonna become more organized in being disorganized. So that's about it for this video of routines, guys. Take care, and may peace be with you.